Hello, hello, Player One Taco, coming to you live from day one here at DAS, and we were standing in coffee line, and we got this dirty chai tea that was amazing, but we got into a conversation with an amazing individual, Grant. How are you doing today, Grant?
Very well, thanks, Taco. Thanks very much for having me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna guess by the accent you're not from New York.
I'm not. I'm from Ireland. I'm Irish.
All right.
For my sins.
All right, nice. All right, what brings you to the Digital Asset Summit?
So I'm here to promote care credits because I'm involved in home care, taking care of elderly and vulnerable people in their own homes. So I have staff in Ireland and in England, and they're doing God's work. They're doing great things in terms of going into people's homes and helping them get out of bed in the morning, helping them with all their daily needs. But it's not a highly paid job, because I, as an employer, only get paid so much by the government, you know. So obviously with the increased cost of living and everything, people need more in terms of the hourly wage. And for not just for me, but for all employers in the sector throughout the Western world, there's a ceiling to how much we can pay because of the fact that the government only pays so much. So hence I came up with care credits. So care credits is a digital asset that the care workers receive upon providing the hours of care, and they can redeem it under existing supermarket loyalty schemes at the supermarket checkout.
Now, is this on top of what they're already getting paid?
Exactly. It's supplementary, complementary. It's not instead of their wages. They get their wages and they get this on top of it. So that's a very important aspect of it. And a key aspect of it is that it's institutional grade in terms of the compliance. So one of the core features of care credits is that it's all home care companies, in order to gain access to the system, they have to be verified. And they're verified through a thing called the Legal Entity Identifier, the LEI. And the LEI is underpinned by 300 pieces of legislation and regulation globally, 106 of which are in the European Union. And it is something that means that we know that it's a home care company that's accessing the smart contract via their scheduling software. And then there's an extension to that, which is a digital identity extension called the VLEI, the verifiable LEI. And that's what's going to be used to verify the identity of the home care workers so that they themselves can receive the tokens onto their personal wallets, and then upon doing the care, and then exchange them at the supermarket checkout.
So one of the biggest things within home care, health care, is fraud, waste, and abuse.
Yes.
So you're not necessarily putting the individual that's being cared for on blockchain, so we don't have to worry about PHI, public health information. It is more about proof of care, because in Medicaid and in care worlds and billing, it's not really how good of a life you give someone or how great of care you give them. It's how well you document it.
Absolutely. Just to say, first of all, that security is paramount throughout the entire system. Personal information, medical records, they are sacrosanct and they will be completely protected. And we're working at the highest levels with the European Commission to make sure that all of that is ring-fenced. In terms of, you very correctly said it, Taco. Home care is an aspect of we all get older, you know, so at some point...
I feel like I'm getting younger.
But at some point, I think for most of us, we prefer to stay in our homes for as long as we can.
Yep.
So for the care workers doing the work that they do, obviously they have to document it. And in our case, they document it on an app that they have on their phone. But then we as an organization constantly, as you said, are being paid to document what's being done, which is right and proper, but at the same time, it's very onerous in terms of the workload that's on our desk. So in terms of that, the care credits is going to be something that buffers the whole industry as a whole, because as it stands, the home care market is broken throughout the Western world. And the care credits was really born out of necessity, because necessity is the mother of all invention, as we know, right? So in terms of making sure that it's a $380 billion industry right now, but with the aging population, it's going to grow into the trillions over the coming decades. So it's something that really has to be looked at. Governments, it's always the last thing on their plate because they don't necessarily put a priority on.
They don't even want to really sort of prioritize or think about themselves getting older. It seems like.
You said it. And look, in terms of the, seeing what's happening in America with the waste, fraud, and abuse being looked at, in Europe, that's obviously not in train yet, but it's something that we hope to make sure, from a home care perspective, that there's a minimization of all waste, fraud, and abuse, because that just affects us. When we're getting people out of bed in the morning, making sure that they maintain their independence, making sure that they have a quality of life into their golden years. And, frankly, the system is broken. So care credits is going to be something that is going to change it.
So what you've sort of talked about right now is basically a direct relationship between the company that's providing the services and that's the organizational infrastructure over, and the individual providing the care, getting a utility token that they can then spend at just their local grocery store or in partnership with discount pieces like that. Where does the retail user come into this, or is this not a retail play at all?
Well, the retail user in this instance is secondary. The token itself is minted upon the care being delivered. So it's a real-world asset insofar as it's based on human labor itself.
Now, once they clock in that they've done the work, and it's been verified, or just once they've done the work?
Clock in and verified, and then put on their digital wallet. So now they own the token. Now, they can either hang on to the token itself, or they can cash it in at the checkout, depending on what the value is at any given day. And then the supermarket chain owns the token. Now, if they decide to hang on to it or resell it on the secondary market, at that point it could be accessible by retail investors and institutional investors, because this is going to be an institutional grade asset. We're not looking to make a meme coin here. We're looking to build something which has security, compliance, regulation at its very core, so that it is a fundamentally safe asset, and stable coins are going to feature in its underlying in what backs it up.
And so I know everyone, if they're looking to find you, they can find you at carecredits.io.
Carecredits.io. Absolutely.
Are you guys on socials as well, like Twitter?
No, not yet, but we will be very soon.
All right. And so if they want to find out more, that's where they go to?
Carecredits.io. My name's Grant Leach. I'm very interested in hearing from institutional investors, VCs, and anybody who'd like to partner with us in making the world a better place by providing a decent standard of living for people who are doing the best they can in terms of helping people who need it.
You might need this next.
We all get old.